Would you hire a financial advisor who's personally bankrupt to manage your portfolio? Would you take advice from somebody with a lifetime negative ROI? Of course not. That would be fucking insane. So why the hell would you hire a fitness coach who's 40 pounds overweight to optimize your body? Today, I'm exposing why fat fitness coaches are not only useless, but they're actively sabotaging your results by validating the same excuses that keep them fat. And I'm gonna show you exactly what to look out for instead. Seth Green here. While most coaches are out there training soccer moms and college kids, I've spent my career exclusively working with high performers, aka guys earning six figures up to $1 billion a year. I run the Capital Performance Solution, where we use peptides, hormone optimization, and data-driven protocols to get elite results. So here's what you need to know. So let me paint you a picture. You're sitting down with your financial advisor. You want to grow your wealth. You want to retire comfortably. You want to make smart investment decisions. The advisor walks in. He's driving an '04 Honda. It's a Civic that's falling apart. He's wearing a suit from Men's Warehouse that doesn't fit. He lives in a studio. His credit score is 480. He's filed for bankruptcy twice. His investment portfolio down 60% over the last decade. But he's got a big old smile on his face and says, I'm going to help you build your wealth. What do? You walk the fuck out immediately. Why? Because results are the only credential that matters. Sure, he can promise he's there to go nowhere but up because he's already in the dumps. He can't get any fucking lower. But if he can't build wealth for himself, he damn sure can't build it for you. His advice is worthless. His strategies don't work. His systems are broken. You know this intuitively. Now let's compare this to fitness coaches. Same scenario, but replace financial advisor with fitness coach. You want to get shredded? You want to optimize your health? You want to perform at your peak? That coach shows up. He's 40 pounds overweight. He's got a gut hanging over his belt. He's huffing and puffing walking up the flight of stairs. His blood work? Probably a disaster. Then again, he probably doesn't even get it. Testosterone? Likely in the 300s. Pre-diabetic, high blood pressure, but he's got certifications on the wall and says, I'm gonna get you in the best shape of your life. What should you do? Walk the fuck out immediately. But here's the crazy part. Most people don't. They hire them anyway. Why? Because somehow in the fitness industry, we've accepted the idea that open book knowledge and relatability matters more than results. Bullshit. The brutal truth is, a fat fitness coach is the exact equivalent of a broke financial advisor. If they can't get themselves lean, they can't get you lean. Period. If you don't live the principles you teach, the principles don't fucking work. Their systems are broken, their protocols are ineffective, their advice is worthless. And worse, they're going to project their own failures onto you and encourage you to stay physically bankrupt just like them. It's a validation trap. And here's where it gets really insidious. Fat coaches don't just fail to get your results, they actively sabotage your progress by validating your excuses. But why? Because they're validating their own excuses. The excuse validation cycle, it never stops. You hire a fat coach. Week 1, you didn't hit your macros because you were too busy. The fat coach says, that's okay. Life happens. Don't be so hard on yourself. Progress, not perfection. Why do they say this? Because they use the same excuse. They're too busy for meal prep. They validate your excuse to validate their own. Week 2, let's just change you to intuitive eating or tracking fiber only. Why? Because they're lazy as fuck and don't track their own data. They don't track their own fitness data. They don't track their business data. They operate on feelings only and want to manipulate you into thinking this new age of suckering people in based on knowledge gaps instead of practicality is the way to go. By week 3, you skipped the gym twice because you were tired. The fat coach says, listen to your body. Rest is important. You don't want to overtrain. Why does he say this? Because he skips the gym when he's tired. He's validating your excuse to justify his behavior. Week 5, you're not seeing results, you're frustrated. The fat coach says, weight loss isn't linear, everybody's different. Some people have a slow metabolism. Some people have thyroid issues. Maybe it's genetics. But why do they say that? Because their excuses they tell themselves about why they're fucking fat. The lack of accountability is astounding, and you're literally paying for it. Here's the pattern. Every excuse you make is an excuse that they have already made as a justification to themselves. Every rationalization you create is one he's been living with for years. You're not being coached, you're being validated and coddled like a fucking toddler. And validation feels good in the moment, but validation doesn't get you results. You don't build a business with short-term validation sapping long-term gains from your pipeline. So why the fuck are you applying this to your mind and body? And here's why it's toxic. A fat coach cannot hold you accountable because holding you accountable would mean confronting their own failures. When you say, I don't have time to meal prep, and they say, that's okay, they're really saying, I don't have time either. And I think it's a valid excuse, so I'll validate your reason to protect my ego. When you say, I'm too tired to train, he says rest is important. He's really saying, I skip workouts all the time, and I think it's acceptable. So I'm gonna validate your behavior to justify mine. It's a feedback loop of mediocrity. You stay fat, he stays fat. No one's making progress except you because you're funding their bad behavior. But no one gets results. The data does not lie. Let me show you the fucking stats. According to industry data, 89% of the personal trainers that are fat or obese, their client retention is an average of 3.2 months. On the flip side, the average client retention with non-fat ass coaches is 14.7 months. Why the difference? Because in shape coaches get results and they don't coddle their fucking clients. Overweight coaches provide comfort and mental illness, and people quit when they realize comfort doesn't transform their body. It's because of their feelings first approach. Here's how a fat coach operates. How are you feeling about your progress? Are you being too hard on yourself? Let's focus on self-love and body positivity. The scale doesn't matter. How you feel? Notice the pattern? Everything's about feelings. Nothing is about data. Why? Because if you looked at the data, you would see you haven't lost weight. Your body composition hasn't changed. Your blood work hasn't improved. You're $600 more fucking broke every month because you're paying for validation, not the transformation you wanted. So of course, they'll keep it vague, they'll keep it emotional, keep it journey focused. Meanwhile, you're 6 months in, you look exactly the fucking same. And what does a real coach tell you? Now compare this to what a real coach would say. They would say, where were your macros this week? Let's pull up your tracker. I would pull it up in my internal calculator and see, okay, your weight is up 2 pounds. Let's make sure your macros are balanced and your sodium intake and sleep data is in line. Or your dominance audit has flatlined. Let's make a quick change and drive more progress this week to get you back to an 88%. Your blood work showed some insulin resistance. Let's address this with specific protocols. You notice the difference? Everything is data-driven, measurable, trackable, and objective. Able to be reverse engineered for success. Feelings are irrelevant, results are everything. A lean coach who's done the work himself already knows what works, what doesn't work, when to push, when to adjust, and how to hold you accountable, but not coddle you. Because that coach has held themselves accountable. They don't just give up and get fat because it's easier. They've faced the same challenges, and they've overcome them instead of being a mental midget and catering to them. That's credibility, that's expertise, that's what you're fucking paying for. Now let's go back to the financial advisor analogy, because it's the perfect comparison. Scenario, the broke advisor. Imagine this advisor managing your $500,000 portfolio. You check in after 6 months. Hey boss, how's my portfolio doing? He says, well, the market's been tough. Some investments are down, but don't worry, investing is a marathon, not a sprint. We're focusing on the journey, not the destination. How do you feel about your investments? You say, I don't give a fuck how I feel. Show me the numbers. He gets uncomfortable. Well, numbers don't tell the whole story. Every investor is different. Some people have different risk tolerances. You can't just compare yourself to others. And you say, okay, but where's my return? He avoids the question. Let's not get hung up on short-term performance. What matters is that you're learning about investing and developing a healthy relationship with money. You'd fire his ass immediately. Why? Because his job is to grow your wealth, not make you feel good about losing money and time. Now the fat coach, same scenario, but this is with your body. So you check in after 6 months. Hey, how's my progress? That fat fucking coach says, well, weight loss is tough. Your body is adjusting, but don't worry, transformation is a marathon, not a sprint. We're focused on the journey, not the destination. How do you feel about your body? You say, I don't care how I feel. Show me the results. I want to be jacked. I want to be confident. I want to be leaner because leaner individuals are proven to make 20% more on a yearly basis. My family needs this money and needs for me to live longer. He gets uncomfortable. Well, the scale doesn't tell the whole story. Your body's just different. You can't compare yourself to others. Maybe you have a thyroid issue, or maybe it's your metabolism. You say, okay, but have I lost fat? Why haven't we done the blood work yet to check that instead of wasting 6 months? They avoid the question. Oh, let's not get hung up on numbers. I can't do that. What matters is you're learning about your health and developing a healthy relationship with food. Same exact script. Sure, different industry. Same incompetence. Same scam. The common thread here, both the broke advisor and that fat coach are doing the same thing. They're deflecting from their own failures to deliver results and taking the lazy way out. That broke advisor can't grow your wealth because he can't grow his own. That fat coach can't transform your body because he can't transform his own. Both use feelings, platitudes, and excuses to avoid accountability. Both of them don't track data accurately. They make you feel comfortable when you fail. But hey, they will both feel great about taking your money while delivering nothing to you, just to fuel their own wasteful, untracked lifestyles. So here's the question you need to ask. Ask them, what's your personal investment return over the past decade? Show me your portfolio performance. What's your net worth? How have you grown your wealth? If they can't answer with data, walk the fuck out. When interviewing a fitness coach, hey, what's your body fat percentage? Show me your blood work. What are your testosterone levels? What have you done to optimize your own body? What's your dispute rate? What is your client LTV so I know how long they stay and how willing they are to actually pay you for your services? If they can't answer any of that with data, fuck them. Both professions are about one thing and one thing only: results. Not feelings, not some journey, not about their patented process that fucking sucks. Results. If your coach, financial or physical, doesn't have personal results, they cannot get you actual results for yourself. So really, what should you look for in a fitness coach? Let me show you the difference between a fat coach and a performance coach. The fat coach, physical appearance, overweight, out of shape, does not track their own metrics, does not track their business metrics. Do as I say, not as I do mentality, constantly tries to validate themselves on social media, no conviction, and they try to coddle all their followers. Their coaching style is feelings-based. They validate your excuses, very, very vague progress tracking. And they love to talk about their journey and the process, just to avoid using any data or real measurements. And they use their community as an echo chamber. Now, when you look at their client results, they're usually very, very slow or nearly non-existent. A lot of times they'll be tucking their fupa into their fucking waistband just to make themselves look a little better. There's generally a very high dropout rate, as we said, about 3.2 months. Their clients just give up. Their generic program is pretty much the same for everybody with slight tweaks. There's no blood work or biomarker focus. There's zero ability to troubleshoot or work on the fly to problem solve. So there are little to no week over week results for the long time horizon your clients are paying for. Here's the red flags to look out for. If they have any kind of marketing that says everybody's body is different, that's a deflection. Weight loss isn't linear, an excuse for no progress. Focus on how you feel, avoiding data. Don't be so hard on yourself, enabling mediocrity. Honestly, fuck that. You deserve better. You're honestly better off being an Ozempic mommy, shooting up to sit on the couch and doing nothing to lose weight. Sure, you're gonna gain it all back and look like a soggy fucking ball sack with all the loose skin and muscle loss, but it's still more progress than you'd make with any of these dipshit coaches. Now, the elite coach. Think of a coach that actually gives a shit. The Capital Performance Solutions standard. Their physical appearance will be lean, visibly fit, and they practice what they preach. They track their own blood work, they track their hormones, they have performance, and they lead by example. The coaching style here is very data focused, holds you accountable, precise progress tracking, weekly measurements, photos, blood work. We can take into account your travel schedules or high-end activities. We talk about results and timelines. Everything is measurable and objective and can be reverse engineered. We think long-term sustainability and reverse engineer your ideal lifestyle versus short-term coddling and trying to fluff your fucking dick up. The client results are fast, consistent, and the progress is insane. There's a very high retention here. The clients stick around because it works. The protocols will be customized to your blood work and data. Comprehensive optimization with hormones, peptides, recovery metrics. And one cool side effect of all this is 33% of my clients have moved up the corporate ladder, started their own business coaching, or finally had the confidence to take on a new opportunity to increase their earnings. And that's all just clients in the last 4 months that have signed on alone, let alone any other clients I've worked with in the past. So here's the green flags. Here's your data for this week. Let's adjust on what we see and make progress over the next 7 days. Hey, your testosterone's low. Let's fix this. Let's team up with the doctors and make sure we do this before we push your training volume up. Here's your blood work results. This is what you need to optimize. Take this to the doctor and we'll make a decision. You said you hit your macros, but your weight is up. What happened, bro? Let's problem solve this and ensure success next week. We'll make a tweak. Let's do it. That's the capital performance solution difference. When you work with us, week 1 is comprehensive blood work. We do your optimal performance ratio assessment. You're integrated into our one-on-one community and get access to everything that I provide. We see exactly where you are. By weeks 2 to 4, you have the blue chip rejuvenation protocol activated. Custom peptide stacks are designed for you based on your data and delivered for free. The macro allocation system is implemented, and the testosterone yield maximization is activated if needed. By then, you'll be down at least 2 to 10 pounds of fat in the first couple weeks. Once we're past that first initial month, we really begin phase 3, where the weekly dominance audits really take over. This is where the data tracking ensures that you make progress every single week. And the adjustments are made that way. They're based on the data and what your body is presenting us, not just feelings. The transformation acceleration protocol refines, and then we start mental health audits to eliminate any limiting beliefs or any plateaus. I also provide my clients live access on weekly coaching calls during executive hour, and our triple asset accountability is in full throttle. The results of having a structured program like this is measurable fat loss, at least 2 pounds per week, muscle gain, especially if your hormones are optimized, blood work improvements, testosterone is always up, inflammation is always down, and we're huge on tracking your lipids and blood pressure. Your energy and performance will also improve and go through the roof. Now, why does this work? Because I've done it. I'm lean, I track my own blood work, I optimize my own hormones, I use the same peptides that my clients do. I don't validate excuses, I don't make excuses. I hold myself accountable and I hold you accountable. This is the difference between a coach who talks about fitness and a coach who lives their optimization lifestyle. Now that we're done talking about the capital performance solution, let's talk about what hiring a fat coach actually costs you. Because it's not just the $400 to $800 a month you're paying them. What the real cost of hiring this piece of shit is. 1, wasted time. Average time with a fat coach. The average time with a fat coach before you realize they're useless is about 6 to 12 months. That's 6 to 12 months of no progress. Validated excuses. Feeling like you're working on it, but you don't know what the missing key to it is. You're not getting results, you're getting older, unhealthier, and if you're 40, every year matters. You're losing muscle mass and testosterone as we speak. You've literally just accelerated your aging curve and made your decline look even steeper by making a dumb decision to hire a clown because they were cheaper and validated your excuses. Every single year you wait to optimize your testosterone is a year of decline that you will never get back. Every year you stay overweight is a year of increased inflammation, insulin resistance, and accelerated aging. Every year you actively choose to sabotage your future, your lifespan, your wealth, and your family due to bad decisions is another year you don't have time to waste on. So stop wasting your time on a coach that does not deliver and validates all of these correctable things. Cost number 2, $800 a month for a 9-month average. Think about it. That's $7,200. And what did you get for that? Validation, excuses, wasted time, no transformation. Maybe you lost 5 pounds and then gained it back. What could you have gotten with a real coach? 25 pounds of fat lost, 10 pounds of muscle gained, your testosterone optimized, your blood work improved, your time horizon increased, energy and performance doubled. Your productivity is probably up. You're likely earning more from increased performance and better bonuses since you're now mentally sharper without brain fog, because you paid for a transformation, but instead you got a therapy session. Cost number 3, the opportunity cost. And this is what most people miss. Being overweight and suboptimal literally costs you money every day in your career. Studies show overweight professionals earn 10 to 15% less than their fit counterparts. You're not taken as seriously in the boardroom. Lower energy, fewer productive hours, lower confidence, smaller asks, worse negotiations, poor health, more sick days, lower performance. Think about it, you earn $200K a year. A 10% pay gap, that's $20K a year in lost earnings. Over 10 years, you just pissed away $200K, not including lost promotions, lost opportunities, and missed out raises. That is 6,570 hours wasted at your $96.15 hourly wage. So you just wasted $631,705 of opportunity cost by hiring this coach. All for what? To appease this fat fuck and validate their middle of the road business? To stay mediocre? Go ahead, tell your board of directors that you took a $631,000 loss for no net gain over the past 9 months and see what they think about it. You'd be fucked. Hiring a fat coach does just that. They keep you fat for another year so they can just re-up you again for another 5 to 10K in coaching fees. They cost you 20K in lost earnings, 10K in coaching fees, $631,000 in additional opportunity cost. They cost you your health that you'll never get back. You lose 6,500 hours you could have spent with your kids, and you've now mortgaged your years of peak performance. All for what? Ask yourself that. Cost number 4, the psychological cost. When you work with a fat coach and don't get results, what happens? You just start to believe that maybe I'm just not meant to be lean. Maybe my genetics are bad. Even my dad was fat. Maybe I'm just too old for this. I'm starting to slow down. I'm 40 years old and I feel and perform like I'm 80. Maybe it is my thyroid. Maybe he was right. You start to internalize their failures and realize them as your limitations. You've given up. You accept mediocrity because they have bled that into every fiber of you. And it starts to seep into your business relationships, your family, your ambitions. You stay stuck in the same fucking path because this fat ass ingrained it in you and told you this is the way that things are. A fat coach doesn't just fail to transform your body, they convince you that transformation is impossible. And that's the most expensive cost of them all. And look, I'm not just here to shit on fat coaches, although they fucking deserve it, honestly, for taking your money without providing results and then giving you the big FU on the back end. But I'm really just here to show you what good coaching looks like and what real optimization can do for you. That's why at the Capital Performance Solution, we don't validate excuses, we deliver the results. Here's what we do differently. I'm lean, my team's lean, we practice what we preach. We use data, not feelings. I want your blood work, your measurements, your biomarkers to all be pristine. I want you there for your family. We'll hold you accountable. There's no coddling, no excuses. It's raw data and real talk. And we use cutting edge protocols, hormones, peptides, advanced diagnostics, and I'm all about producing results fast. And we get results fast. It usually takes about 90 days to see a dramatic transformation, not just someday. And I'm huge on building for sustainability. When you look through my client roster, none of my clients that have graduated have ever had a nasty rebound that you see from the other coaches right after finishing a program. Our clients typically drop between 30 to 80 pounds in the first 3 to 6 months. Their testosterone rises from the 300s to about the 900s. There's a dramatic shift in energy and performance, and we add 6 figures minimum to their lifetime income because of their improved focus and confidence and new job opportunities. And why can I say that? Because I've literally done this myself. I know that it works. I live that it works. And I have 150 other examples of why it fucking works. I'm not some fat ass coach just giving you theorized advice. I'm an elite performer who demands the most out of myself. I've optimized myself, and I want to provide this same to you. If you're ready to work with somebody who's actually done what they're teaching, so go ahead, click the first link down below in the description, fill out that 6-question application that'll pop up. If you're accepted, it'll go ahead and bring up my booking schedule. Pick a time, we'll hop on a call, we'll jam for a little bit, find out exactly what you want, and have you built out in 48 hours. Or if you absolutely hate phone calls, saying fuck that shit, then DM me the word solution on Instagram and my bot will qualify you and send over the information, including pricing. But if you are looking for somebody to validate your excuses, make you feel good about your lack of progress, and coddle you like a child, then I'm not your coach. This is for serious high performers ready for murderous results. And as for the 6 figures my clients have added, that is not a guarantee. I just work with a lot of smart people who have done this over and over. Most of the people watching this are probably fucking idiots who will never see 6 figures in their lifetime. The Bureau of Labor Statistics says that only 20% of people will ever make 6 figures in their lifetime. So there's an 80% chance that you're gonna stay broke. So take our consistent results with a grain of salt, because this probably won't ever work for you and you'll statistically be where you're at, staying stuck with a fat coach anyway. Now, before we wrap up, let me give you the exact framework for evaluating any fitness coach. Use this as a checklist. Go ahead, write this down. Write it down in the comments if you want. Use this 5-point evaluation. Number 1, physical appearance. Ask yourself, is this person visibly lean and fit? Does this look like somebody that practices what they preach? Would I want to look like them at the end of this transformation? If the answer is no to any of these, then walk away. You can't learn to be rich from a broke person. You can't learn to be fit from a fat person. Number 2, personal data. Ask them, what's your body fat percentage? What are your testosterone levels? When was your last blood work? What were the results? What protocols do you personally use? How can I guarantee the results I pay for? Show me your dispute rate. If they get defensive, offended, or say that's personal, I'd say that's probably a red flag. A real coach is proud to share their data. They want you to see results. Number 3, client results. If it's not on their page, ask to see before and after photos with real timelines. Ask them about their blood work improvements. Ask what specific data did they track? Pounds lost, muscle gained. If they optimize their hormones, look for client testimonials with measurable outcomes, not I feel great, because anybody can fake those texts. There's no timeline, no data. They use generic stock photos. They abuse lighting and tuck their fat fupa into their waistband. Everybody's journey is different, deflections all over their page. That is a huge red flag. They do not get results. Number 4, ask them about their coaching philosophy. Listen for data-driven and results-driven language. We track everything. We're accountability focused. We hold you to your commitments. Results-oriented. Here is the timeline for your transformation. They should be science-based. We use blood work to guide protocols. Red flags, feelings focused. How do you feel about your body? They enable excuses. Life happens. Don't be hard on yourself. They're very process-oriented in their own very specific process. It's about their journey, not your destination. And they're very, very anti-data and tell you the scale doesn't matter. These are the types of coaches that also ask for payment plans instead of making a client commit up front because they know that if they do that, they're getting a chargeback. But if they nickel and dime you along the way, it's less likely to go back on them. The 5th question to ask, what are your systems and protocols? How do you optimize for hormones? Do you use peptides in your protocols? What diagnostics do you run on your clients? How do you track and adjust progress? If they don't understand hormones, they're a basic trainer. If they don't know peptides, they're 8 years behind. If they don't run blood work, they're just guessing or a fucking dinosaur. If they don't track data, they're just winging it and failing the basics. If you sniff out any of this, don't just walk away, but run away from them, please. That's why we have the capital performance standard that we show to all of our clients ahead of time. When you evaluate us, here's what you'll find. There's gonna be a visibly lean and optimized physiques. It's all over my page, go check them out. I'm very open about my own data and any client data that I'm allowed to share. That's why I've made videos on it. And I discuss my own data every Wednesday on my live on YouTube. Just go check it out, ask questions in the comments. We have hundreds of client results with specific data and timelines. We have a data-driven, accountability-focused coaching philosophy. And that's why we have advanced systems in place, including the optimal performance ratio, the blue chip rejuvenation protocol, and the target date insights, where literally I can control everything to reverse engineer your future and make sure you become a fucking superhuman machine. I know I'll pass every single checkpoint because I'm the standard. I guarantee that, or your money back. So to wrap it all up, here's where you're at right now. You have 3 options. Hire the fat coach. Keep doing what you're doing. I mean, go ahead. Hire somebody who validates your excuses. Waste those 6 to 12 months, get absolutely nowhere. Go ahead, spend 5 to 10K on validation and fat prosody instead of results. Stay overweight, low energy, brain fog, suboptimal. That's cool. Watch your performance tank and years fly off your biological clock. Tell yourself, everybody's different and it's about the journey. This is the path of looking like fucking Lizzo and leading the life of mediocrity. If that's cool, like no judgment, but you should have stopped watching this 10 minutes ago, or at least be baby raging in my comments over your insecurities to boost the algo. So if this is you or you're one of those fat coaches, please let me know exactly what you think down below. I am sure everybody watching this video would love to see you try to dig your way out of the rabbit hole here. Option number 2, you can go at it alone. Try to figure this out yourself. Google peptides, hormone optimization, order random supplements from fucking India that are probably pissed in and shit in like the water they bathe in. Order random supplements from your Reddit threads, waste 2 to 3 years experimenting, get an infection, make more expensive mistakes, probably get a little bit of results, and then give up because you didn't know what the fuck you were doing. You'll waste thousands of dollars on useless shit, medical bills, and opportunity costs. This is the path of the stubborn, and a lot of people love that path. So go ahead, continue that. If that is your thing, I'm not your coach. And believe me, if you do that path, good luck because you will need it. Option number 3, you can hire an elite coach who knows what the fuck they're doing. Work with somebody who's done what you're trying to do, someone who's lean, who's optimized, who's done it their whole life and gets measurable results. Someone who will use data and not feelings. They will hold you accountable and deliver on their promises, not sit there and validate bullshit excuses. This is someone who has systems in place that they know work and will apply them to you as needed. Combine the systems I've already mentioned with our internal processes, and there's no way you don't get built into a superhuman, because we have reverse engineered this on large scale at this point. This is like an assembly line that keeps pumping out perfect products year after year. So do me a favor, go get the results in 90 days instead of wasting years. This is the path for elite performers. And if that's you, then click the link in the description. And I'm legitimately selective with this because this level of service doesn't scale. I have to do a lot by hand. But if you're the right fit, you're a high earning professional, you're data driven, you're ready to take responsibility, you want to get shredded, optimized, and perform at your fucking highest level, then go ahead, sign up. If you're looking for validation, excuses, or a therapist, then I am not your team. The choice is yours. But remember, you would not hire a broke financial advisor. So don't hire a broke or a fat fitness coach. Demand excellence, get results, and there's one constant truth in fitness. This industry is a meritocracy. You prove it, so put your money where your mouth is and show up to get top 1% results. Otherwise, shut the fuck up and get out of the way, because I'm here to actually deliver on my promises.